Hi,
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Track Girl Summer.
welcome to Track Girl Summer. All right, let's get into the things. Welcome to Track Girl Summer. I'm Natasha Hastings. This is my co host, Kori Carter, and we're bringing culture to track and field.
Track Girl Summer. Track Girl Summer.
Follow me, Natasha Hastings, Twitter, Facebook, IG, YouTube. Follow the Kori Monster, Twitter. Are you on Facebook? I should know this by now.
I
YouTube,
am on Facebook.
Instagram.
And sometimes I TikTok.
Oh, you TikTok too? Okay, okay.
Sometimes. I really don't. But maybe I will.
Follow Track Girl Summer, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. We're popping on Instagram and Twitter. We're trying to catch up on YouTube. Listen, we can't monetize the channel without 1,000 subscribers. So we need y'all to hit that subscribe button. Don't just consume the content, but subscribe, like, help us out here.
And I see that
Um,
we can't monetize. Maybe one day we can't keep doing this. Will you,
we
will
don't
you
want
know?
that to happen. So anyway, we're bringing content to you Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We might throw in some special days here and there in between. Look out for tweets, Instagrams. If you're subscribed, you'll get a notification because we don't have a solid time just yet, but we're just coming to you Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So today, we're going to be talking about the things. Was it Saturday? Saturday was the Paris Diamond League.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll high key, low key talk about Paris, but we'll also talk about some other things.
Are you letting people join today? You said you might let some people join.
Yes, there's 40 people in the room already. So let's keep bringing folks into the room, and we're going to share our link so that if you want to join the chat, ask a question, make a comment, you can join the chat, the live chat, that is. Talon, yes, you have made a live stream. Thanks for being here. Um, but so yeah, so Kori, I know you want to get into the fit check. Before we get into the fit check, I just want to give a little disclaimer, okay? I have
Seriously?
had a day. Normally, Kori goes first with the fit check. I'm gonna go first today because I'm having single mom, grad student, working mom day of the days. So I'm bringing you pajama realness. This is some J. Crew pajamas that I got for my family one Christmas. I like to get my family matching pajamas for Christmas Day. Um, so here I am in my Track Girl Summer trucker hat, coming to you soon. Fit check.
Um, so I did some little corn rolls. I put a little like gold in there. And then just a little Space Jam with
She's
biker.
cute. She's cute.
I'm not wearing anything on the feet, but if I were to wear something on my feet, they would be some True Blues. I feel like that would really complete this outfit. I
Okay.
just didn't feel like going up in my shoe collection and finding my threes. And I'm feeling sensational.
Are
I
you?
am. I'm always feeling good. So I'm
Good,
feeling.
good. You made a big announcement the other day. Shall we talk
Oh
about it a
yeah,
little bit before we get into? We didn't even put that on the agenda, but I
we did
just
it.
we opened up with Mom had a day. How's Kori doing?
I'm good. If you didn't see on IG, I found out a while ago that I have the diabetes, the sugars. So figuring that out, I'm like type one. Thank you for everyone's like kind words and your prayers. I'm a G, so I'm fine. Um, just like figuring things out. I have to poke myself a lot these days. And I think my like skin's getting like they said scar tissue can like build up, and I already feel like I have some. So when I
Mm.
keep trying to go in my stomach, it's just like no. I'm trying to get going different places, but yeah, it's weird. I'm like constantly monitoring. I have my fit check actually, got my CGM guys, so that's my glucose monitor.
For once, Kori is being coy. Can I tell the story?
Yeah.
All right, 54 people in here, guys. Before I tell the story, make sure you share and like.
I'm like, what story
Bring
is
some
this?
more people into the room. So you guys know that we have been live streaming doing Track Girl Summer pretty much all summer now, but we went into like overdrive for the games. Kori practically moved in. We came up with a business plan, all these plans for Track Girl Summer, how we're going to grow this thing, keep it going, keep bringing stuff to you all, right? We're excited, all the things happening. But Kori is like drinking water like crazy. Like I
Did
said,
I tell you?
she
Did I
moved
tell you?
in. What?
I like washed my hair one day and I brought a water bottle into the shower because I was like, I'm gonna get so dehydrated because to wash my hair, I'm not gonna make it to the shower without water.
But I wasn't thinking anything of it because, like,
There.
we run track. We're always drinking water. So she would always be like, I'm thirsty. I'm going to get some water. You want some water? I'm like, sure. And then she's like getting up to pee 3 and 4 times in the night. And then someone makes this suggestion. Now, you guys, what's crazy is, I moved. Kori was making plans to move with me. Like, car was packed, everything. She was going to make this road trip. I'm still not telling y'all where I am, but
We were trying to give you all the content. We were trying to stay on the
we were
couch.
trying to keep the train moving. And then Kori calls me and she's like, so a friend of mine told me I need to check my glucose levels because what I'm describing sounds like my glucose is high and I'm in the urgent care and I'm type 1 diabetic. So, shout out to you, Kori, because you're taking it like a G. And although we
I
had
was
to change
laughing
our
the whole time.
plans, you're still on top of me like, Tosh, I need you to schedule this live. I need you to work on the script. I need you to upload this so we can get our business account. Like, you're still on the things. So shout out to you. It's not an excuse. It's not a hindrance. It's now a part of your life. You've just kind of just taken the bull by the horns and here we are. So
Oh,
she's still gonna come at some point. We just don't know when. We'll be
I
back
have
on the
a lot
couch soon.
I have like a lot of doctor's appointments now. So I was just like, I kept being like, okay, I'm gonna come like after this doctor appointment and like after this doctor appointment. But yeah, I just when I found out I was funny because I was joking about it because I just didn't think it was like not that it was didn't think that was real, but I'm just like, what? It was very surreal to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like you came by the hospital and you're like, how are you still like joking about this? And I was like, what else can you do at this point? But yes, but more importantly, Brown Mama wants to know how Liam's doing.
Liam is good. You know what? Liam must have known that mommy had a day because I think we're on like day 16 since we moved and bedtime, his schedule has been a struggle and it's been a struggle for a number of things. Like summer was just like he had a big boy, hot boy summer. Okay. Like I'm like very routine, like bedtime is this time, dinner time, bath time, brush your teeth, all the things. Homeboy wants to stay up till 10 at night. And then since we've moved, like he's been waking up at like 3 and 4 in the morning. Well, thankfully last night he slept through the night. He didn't wake up till 6:30. And then tonight he was like, I'm going to bed. He was down at like 7:07. So,
707.
mom had time to take a shower, shave her legs. I couldn't tell you the last time I shaved my legs. So Liam is good. Liam is adjusting. He loves his new school, which makes me happy. But he's adjusting to the new home.
That makes a lot of sense because now I'm thinking of your fit checks and you kept wearing a lot of long, flowy stuff that covered your legs. And I just thought it was your aesthetic. Come to find out, we were hiding these legs, Natasha.
No. Don't get it twisted. The hairy legs was out. I didn't really care. Ain't nobody rubbing up on these legs, so whatever.
Yes.
Mars bars, it's coming. It's coming. Don't sleep. We working on it. We working on it.
But yeah, y'all know Liam loves to do a guest appearance at. We'll have. It doesn't matter how late we'll do the live. We could have a midnight edition of the live, and he's gonna be like, "Well, I might just stop by Track Roll something real quick."
Listen, he be trying it, but he's asleep. He is asleep. As I check the monitor to make sure.
Someone said, speaking of shaving legs, do male track and field athletes shave or wax their legs? You'd have to ask the male track and field athletes.
Right.
I don't know that on race day, I love feeling like just like a fresh baby dolphin. I want smooth legs so I can feel aerodynamic. There's nothing like a fresh pair of legs on race day.
Agreed. All right, we've talked enough about ourselves. Should we get into the things? Should we get into this Paris Diamond League? Oh, excuse me.
I feel like I don't know. Like I feel like I don't know if people were tired. It's been a long year. It's been a long 2 years, or if people were just like, look, I'm getting ready for this final. Like it is what it is, Paris. But yeah, I just feel like I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But 400 hurdles started off. Interesting. Femke both said, y'all can miss with these hurdles. I'm going to hop in the open 4, which I found interesting. Because I felt like given the field, I would have been like, well, Shamir was still in the field, but maybe she didn't know. Or maybe she just was like, I want to run the 400. But
yeah.
But Gianna Woodruff won, which I think that's her first Diamond League win.
Yeah.
Yeah, she trains with
Dalila.
Dalila, like went to USC. Like I've been running against her since I was in middle school. So like happy for her. She made a great move at the end. I like thought it was weird. It was like weird to
the girl on the inside too in lane 1. Is that Haley? No. It was American, so it had to be Haley.
Oh, yeah,
Tara Haley. She ran a strong race from the inside.
I'm so sorry. My dog is having COVID's been having a day. He's been coughing all day. Haley ran really well. She came off the turn with the league, but I feel like she started into like hurdle 9 or 10, and I feel like she lost momentum.
Yeah. I think she like really took it out and ran a strong first 300, and then she looked like 9 and 10. She wasn't able to negotiate very well. Yeah,
and then I feel like the rest of the world came for her.
Yeah.
For that, but it was weird to see Shamir. She like Russell was out like Geneva Russell was out fast, and she made up the stagger on Shamir by like hurdle 4 or 5, and Shamir just like did not respond and just looked like she was tired.
Yeah.
It like wasn't. She didn't hit any hurdles. It just seemed like it's been a long year.
Yeah.
I think that 4 hurdles is hard to maintain. It's hard to stay at that like level for a very long time. I feel like there's a short window where you could be fast unless you're Sydney and Dalila, and then you can just run.
Well, I won't even say that. I feel like, Sydney and Dalila, and most of them have been like really selective about where they've run. You know, Sydney and Dalila did not do a full indoor season, and Shamir did a full indoor season and a full fast indoor season. Shamir ran 49 in April.
She opened up with that really good 400 at Texas Relays.
It's hard to give that many quality races and in practically September still maintain it. So, she did look flat to me. And who knows if I think we all know that she's way better than what she ran, 57:18. So I think there was a little bit of like, I'm tired. I'm not pushing anymore through this. You know what I mean? Probably could have definitely run a lot faster than it, but sometimes it bees like that.
Yeah, and sometimes if you like lose momentum of the hurdles, it's just like, what it's like. You know what it's like to get the bear on your back, right?
Yeah.
And then imagine that, and then having to leave the ground in a coordinated fashion to get over hurdles. Like, it just hits different.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sergey Shimway, I struggled with this because, and I talked to Kori a little bit about this because I'm like, I want to be respectful. That's like my number one thing where I'm like, I'm not gonna get on here and talk trash, but I had a difficult time watching the meet. I'm not gonna lie.
Is it what you're saying is like, are we spoiled?
Are we spoiled?
Like
we got, man, we had like some exciting meets through the Olympics,
I mean, I guess
Prefontaine.
cool. Like, I just feel like we're so used to seeing world record, world lead, meet record, national record, area record, like, and now I'm just like, all you did was PB, I guess. Like,
Kori, you spoke this mess into existence.
what? What did I do?
I think he's waking up. He's up. He's about to come out here. All right, continue.
They were asking about him. He said, I heard y'all were asking about me.
Oh, man.
Why didn't Shamir do the 400 at trials? Because that's a lot. Well, I guess maybe.
His 400 was just as stacked as
True. And I think it's also like, I didn't.
No one didn't see Shamir being in top 3.
That's what I was going to say. I didn't think she saw Anna coming.
Yeah.
I mean, I was out, so.
Yeah, you left it wide open for them.
I didn't leave it wide open. No, but here's the thing is, the 400 hurdles is stacked, but I think there are like, I hate to use the word tiers, but it's like, okay, like, Sydney and the
I'm sorry, Sergey, I agree. Like, when did 10-7 look so boring?
And my question, okay, so let's just skip the women's 100. Since we're on it. Because also, like,
why are we like this?
And it's also like, yeah, you said that track is so exciting because we're seeing the rivalries and matchups. I'm just like, I don't want to see it without Shell. Like, I want both of them. I want, if we're gonna run 12-7, let's at least have two 12. Let's not 10-7, 12-7s. We're gonna run 10-7. Let's have two 10-7s. Like, I mean, I'm like 10-9. We're so. And I'm like, my question is, do you think that Elaine needs Shelly to run? Do you think they need each other to run those times?
Well, she ran 10-7 last week with Shelly. When Shelly ran 10-6, she ran 10-7. So it's a question between, does she need Shelly or someone to push her that fast? Which I think the answer is yes. But I also think the answer is there's only so many times that you can tap into that 10-6, 10-5, 10-6, 10-5 before you start to go 10-7, 10-8. So, oh, you right. She ran 10-64 in that race. You right. She might need Shelly to pull her to that. You are right. Y'all are absolutely right. It was 10-60 and 10-64.
I thought I was like,
but like, when did 10-72 become pedestrian? Like,
when Elaine and Shelly decided that it was. When they started telling us that when they started saying that excellence was a standard. Like,
so I mean, you might be right. You might be right, because Zurich, the final is coming up. So maybe, she did what she had to do to win, and might be right.
Mom, are you trying to get in? Hold on, Kobu's making an appearance. He wants to be with me.
My kid went back to sleep.
Oh, well, thank God. Well, now he left. All right.
Sharika does not get overlooked. Not in my book. Sharika cracks me up because every time I watch her run, I'm like, you don't look like you're moving that fast. Like, she
Her
looks
analogy.
like a quarter miler coming down the track, but she's running 10:8. Like, yeah.
So you know what race I really enjoyed was the women's 3K. So there was 5 PBs in this race. But I wanted to talk about Francine. She ran 8:19:08 for a world lead national record, meet record. Want to remind y'all that she used to run the 800, but due
Mm-hmm.
to testosterone levels, she had to move up. And I think that the 3K is like the perfect race for her because at the Olympics, she was running the 5K and the 10K, right? And I feel like at the Diamond League meets, we talked about this last meet, like the 3K is kind of where you see the matchups of like your shorter distance people and your longer distance people, where you get the matchup of like, are we gonna go, is speed gonna win or is like strength gonna win? But this girl has both. She's been training for the 5K, 10K, but she still has like, she's been running 800 meters all her life. Like she has 800 meters foot speed. And I feel like it makes her deadly in the 3K. And she looked so good. She hammered at the pace, like from the front. After the rabbits went away, she just was out there putting in work. And then when I want to who rolled up on her? Oh, Tay from Ethiopia tried to roll up on her. She was like, "Girl, if you don't get away from me," it was like she tried to make a move and Francine immediately responded and was like, I also have the foot speed. Don't play with me. And
I always tell my mom has a way of like narrating stories that I'm like, how do you know that like Liam doesn't have words yet? And so she'll be like, I know he's saying da 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 da. And I'm like, how do you know he's saying that? You literally just told that story like you were Francine. And like,
the way she moved, I was like, I know what you. She was like, get off me, bruh. She literally did this when she was running. She was running like this, and then I saw her be like, get off me with the shoulders.
Shayna or Shanna Lee, can Elaine get a wild card to Eugene? Isn't it SFAPs only? Um, I don't think that she can get a wild card because Shelly Ann Fraser is the defending world champion, and the world champion gets the bid over the Diamond League champion, and two people from one country can't have the bye. So Shelly Ann,
someone's saying that she can get it if she wins a Diamond League, but the World Championships trumps the
Diamond League champ. Yeah.
Someone asked, so are they moved up to longer distance because of the endurance factor, which kind of evens the playing field? I think they get moved up to the longer. They've gotten moved up, or in Striga's case, in the I can't ever say it, Namibians, they moved down, and I think it's because they have data in the 800 and the 1500. And I'm sad to this. I feel like personally that eventually they're gonna be like, now we have data in the shorter and longer races. Y'all can't run in anything, and then they'll just move to the jumps.
I didn't take it that far, but yes, that's what I thought. That like we have the data in these events, so you can't do these events. You got to move up, you got to move down. But I guess you're right. The jumps would be next.
Yeah, they're coming for y'all.
I don't know. Can I just say this? Because I actually had this. I shouldn't really say I had this debate, but my mom more so had the debate with some people. I hate the way that this whole thing is being handled because, period, point blank, these are still human beings, and
they're still women.
They're still women, and I feel like they're being kind of just like shuffled around. They're dealing with this thing in front of the world. And I'll say it again, I don't know the equitable answer because on the one hand, I do feel like, well, how is it fair for everyone else? But then on the other hand, if this is how you were born, then how do we get to like police that and micromanage that for you? I don't know the answer, but I really, really hate the humanness that is lost for these women. I truly hate to see them like having to deal with this way. I don't know. Yeah,
And
it's like mind games. Yeah.
I feel like it also opens the door for people to be transphobic because people love to, like, not everyone, but a lot of people like to be transphobic, and like that's not even the issue that we're dealing with, but people like to do that.
Yep.
And I feel like those are two separate situations. But I also have to say, like, as much as I'm like, dang, like going up against Francine would be like tough. Going up against Casper would be tough. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm sure those swimmers felt the same way about Michael Phelps. Like, this boy basically was born with flippers, okay? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Real
everything
talk.
about him genetically was like, you were born to be in water. Like, the only thing he didn't have was gills, right? And they didn't say, like, oh, well, you're just too good. You have too much of an advantage. Is it an unfair advantage or is it just an advantage?
Right. I think the other argument that I hear being made that I'm like, I don't know, but I do also see where it's coming from. Like, it's just black women. Like, we haven't seen this for white women. Um,
And who's to say, like, testosterone levels vary in people naturally because people are different. And it's like, who came up with this number? I don't know. Natasha, where are you?
don't you want to know?
Natasha loves being mysterious.
I do. I do.
Things I want to talk about. Mondo said I'm back on my game. Gonna go get this W. He attempted the world record, which was cool. What I love about the pole vaulters is like they're like, okay, I'm out of the competition. I guess I'll just start being head cheerleader because you saw Sam out there being like, y'all go get this clap for
Yeah.
like the camaraderie in the pole vault is top tier.
Unmatched. Yeah.
Also back on top was Hans Parchi. Like
Pachi.
I fell off for a little bit, but I'm right back.
Yeah. Which also, big news. Parchment will be joining Track Girl Summer. Stay tuned. That was confirmed, but as we get closer, more details to come.
First international athlete.
Is he our first international? He is. He is.
Y'all like to say we're biased, and we like to say that we're biased.
I don't care. I am biased, but yes, Parchment will be here. Uh-oh. Come on, Kori.
Well, what the heck? It went right back on. Also, you know, hottest girl this season, Fred Curley dropped his PR by 0.11.
No, this was a good matchup.
This was because he went 1779 and Kenneth went 17. Gosh darn it, I can't speak. 1979. I feel like they were like just trading the lead back and forth, and Fred in the last 10 meters had to like hunt Kenny down, and he got it with a lean. He said, "I've been doing my bench press, pop the pectoral out."
I hate to go back to this topic. 73 people in the room. Share, like, bring some more folks to the party. But I want to emphasize that this was not because of how Semenya looked. There is science. I do think that there is this notion out there that she was singled out and tested for a thing. And tested for her testosterone. We're all tested for our testosterone. That's why when people test positive for testosterone, like we all have a baseline. We all have that's what they call the biological passport, where we all have a baseline. When the baseline starts to look a little out of whack, it's like, hold on, wait a minute. Don't know what you're doing, but something's up because you're too far off your baseline. All of us, women, men, were tested for testosterone. So she was not singled out because of how she looked, or any of these women being singled out because of how they looked. But we're all tested. We're tested against what's considered normal. And when these things show up, then they've got to ask questions. So that's what that is.
the biology nerd in me is like there has to be some sort of like biological evolutionary explanation to why we're seeing it mainly in Black women. I'm like looking at my bookshelf and there's this
So
book called The Sports
it's
Gene.
it's a bit of socioeconomics because it does show up more so in Black children because it is mostly recognized at birth and the parents can decide then, but the parents have to be able to afford the surgery that's necessary. And so it turns out that most of us can't afford it. And that is why we're left with such and such. So there's a bit of socioeconomics behind it. I would imagine some biology behind it as well.
You know,
Um,
the default sex is female. So if like
mhm,
something goes wrong in utero with your like reproductive organs or just like your development, like with your gender development, your body will just be like, okay, we're gonna make a girl then.
mhm,
So like that's how you can get like women with XY. Like if something weird goes, they'll just be like, okay, we're gonna make a girl.
mhm.
There's also been like this study where like
Very biased.
um
We are very biased.
I need to listen to this podcast one more time. But basically there was a study where like they gave mice, like male mice and female mice, the opposite. So like they were giving male mice estrogen
Mhm,
and female mice testosterone, and like they were able to change, like so they like basically ovaries turned into testicles. It was very interesting.
mhm.
Um, I need to re-listen to that because it's on.
Jason Jason White. I'm sorry to cut you off, Kori, but like we kind of got to give a little bit of history. Jason says, I think the problem people are having with that is that there had to have been cases before. So why is it that it never became an issue till Castor? Well, up until the 2004 Olympic Games, when you entered the Olympic Village, you had to do a gender test. And when you did the gender test, you were given a card that stated male or female. Since 2004, they've done away with that. And so now we're starting to see prevalence of things, but once upon a time it was policed. And so again, this is where I'm like, there's this notion that people are being singled out, and maybe they are. I don't have all the facts, but I do know that once upon a time when you entered the Olympic Village, you had to take a gender test and you were given a card verifying your gender. So there's that. Back to you, Kori.
I don't know. I don't know why my mind works like this because you know how people were like, "I'm taking your black card, I'm taking your woman."
Yeah, like literally. Like and I mean, even when you hear that, you're kind of like, really? Like that's what you had to do to go into the Olympics? Or Brooklyn Fine Ass, wow, is Corey a doctor or a scientist or something? Give him your Corey is a Stanford grad, biology major. Okay, come on.
You know, come by a human biology major.
Come on. Come
Yes,
on.
that. Um, and I just am weird and am obsessed with the human body. I think it's the coolest machine ever. So I like things like that.
Ever. You really learn how cool it is when you give birth. It's kind of cool and gross, but yeah.
Speaking of cool and gross, in Stanford, when I was like at Stanford, we were going through like this. What is the curriculum? Basically, we were learning about child development, and we were learning like basically from fetus. Why are you? What are? All right, more Natasha. We need it more Natasha. But basically, we go from like fetus to a child, and they assigned us to watch this video where it was like, oh, okay, like this is what's happening with the sperm and the egg, blah blah blah. They didn't tell me that it ended with a live birth, a video of a live birth, and I was like, I was at Axapalm, which is like our local diner. I'm just like, I hope people don't think I'm a pervert because I just have like a baby coming out. But the human body is very cool. You had two cousins who went to Stanford class of 2016.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Um, speaking of development of children,
You're right.
we wanted to have a conversation because I feel like we see a lot of these track phenoms. We see like the Sydneys, the Ajay Wilsons, the Things, the Noah Lyles, the Alison Felixes, the Candace Hills. And it's like,
I have strong opinions about this topic. Go ahead.
Okay, so the conversation we wanted to have is like, okay, as a parent, you want to invest in your child and you might see some talent in them, but like what is pushing them too far? What is like investing in your child? What is damaging to your child? Because sometimes I think you see these kids going pro out of high school and you think, well, maybe I should have my child training, like a pro athlete, so because so they can go pro. And I just would like to say to parents, like, chill. It's not. It's not that deep. If your child's gonna be Sydney McLaughlin, she's gonna be Sydney McLaughlin.
Period.
And one of the things there's like so many things I want to talk about this. But first, what I would say is like the scientists in me would love to do like a study on when professional athletes start track and field, because I started track in 7th grade. We heard Jessica, because I feel like we've been interviewing a lot of people. Jessica Beard said she started in high school. Allison started in high school. Ajay started in high school. So they went on to be great. I think Eric started in high school.
Yep.
You and Sandra are running in Pampers, but
I'm an outlier.
I really think that it's true. I feel like I'm so grateful that I didn't start track and field as a kid, mainly because of I played literally every sport, and I've never ever had anxiety before any sporting event other than track and field. Like, I'm glad I started it on my own terms. I asked to run track, and my dad got me in, but he always wanted me in team sports, and then I transitioned, and I fell in love with it immediately.
That's so funny that you said that, because I learned recently in my program, I'm back in class, that cross-country athletes are more at risk for anxiety and depression than any other sport.
It makes sense. I've seen so many. I don't know what about cross country and type A personalities go together. And I've had parents like hit in my DMs asking for advice. One dad asked me like, "Oh, I want my daughter to quit basketball so she can focus on track," and I told him like, "Do not do that." Because it needs to be your daughter's decision if she wants to. Like, she's still a kid. Like, There's no need to specialize. And I feel like when you specialize early, that's how you get overuse injuries anyways. Like, my dad always said, you can teach a kid how to hit, throw, jump. You cannot teach a child how to be an athlete. An athlete's going to be an athlete regardless. If you get kids involved in sports and they're active, you can't teach height, you can't teach athleticism, can't teach speed, But if they have the tools, it doesn't matter when they started, they can put it together, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And not fun fact, but fun fact. He actually hit me up like a few years later this year, and he was like, my daughter like is doing great. She made the state meet. I'm so glad I didn't force anything on her, because you see a lot of kids like resenting their parents when you force them to do something, because honestly, I feel like sometimes it's y'all living out your own dreams vicariously through these kids.
Uh-oh.
And I saw like another dad hit me up talking about like, well, what was your diet in high school? And that just threw me for a loop, because he was talking about his like high school daughter, which I'm like, at that age, it is so easy to get an eating disorder, especially if your father is telling you need to be on a diet. And I was like, this
Mm-hmm.
is being on a diet and eating healthy. Like I ate healthy as a child, not because my mom was like, you need to, be a performer, but it's because my mom made home cooked meals, so I wasn't eating junk food because
Mm-hmm.
we were having like real food in the house. And I felt like I feel like I told him like, and if you are going to restrict what she eats, you need to restrict what you eat because you can't be asking her to do something you don't do. Like if you want to be like, as a family, let's get healthy, that's one thing. But to be like, you need to be on a diet for your performance. I mean, we gotta. Someone's like, "Are you reading the comments?" I'm trying to get my thoughts out.
That was
And
Diane Dixon. Diane Dixon.
Natasha told me to stop reading the comments and get distracted. But and someone said lots of kids have started specializing early, but you see them burning out in their 20s. And like I started track late. I started track with the girls who was running at 5, running at 6, and they were faster than me. Were they faster than me, or did I not know how to use blocks? But I'm the only one still, other than Gianna, still running at this level. Like a lot of them did not make it out of college, and all of them didn't finish their college track careers. And I think it's because they got burned out.
That's one of the things that I say a lot, that like I am one of those people that I started early, but I was blessed in that my mom was like, no, she's going to be a kid. Because it was the same thing with my mom. My mom started running when she was like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
But the people that surrounded her were like, okay, my mom actually did the long jump too. She was like, my practice was playing in the sand pit. Like, it wasn't like training, you know? It wasn't until she got to college that training kind of got serious. But like, I always say that like I lasted this long because I was allowed to be a kid. And
Yeah.
there were people on my track team that, I kid you not, had more raw talent than me, but they
Yeah.
were either burnt out
Mm-hmm.
by the training because they did some workouts that my mom was like, hell no, she's not doing it. I've told the story before, or the stories here on social media, or their parents just straight up took the fun out of it.
Yeah.
And I think especially now in social media where everybody's comparing themselves,
Mm-hmm.
everybody think, first of all, let me tell y'all something. We make nice money.
It's not worth it.
All right. Okay. So there's this idea that like, oh, I'm going to turn pro and I'm going to get rich and no, it doesn't work like that. And furthermore, the names that we listed, there are very few people that it has worked for. And for those that it worked for, I want to say that I think it's worked. Like, I love what they did with Sydney. I love what they did with our thing. Allison's journey, like Ajay, even though they were phenoms, or they are phenoms, like they still went to college. Like, I think it's so important for you to go to college and experience college, even if it's just for a year. And that's why I say I love what they did with Sydney. Like, I tell people all the time, I went to college for 3.5 years, 3 years, and I turned pro. And it was the best 3 years of my life. If I could do it over, I'd do it again and not change a
I
dang
would do
thing.
it.
Okay? Like, period, 100%. You have to let your kids be kids. Like, the second you start, like, this is a job. It is. It's a lifestyle. Like, and you start doing that when your kid is 10 and you want them to be taking it just as serious at 25. Like, it just doesn't work like that. They're going to be physically and emotionally burnt out. And I think you have to allow your kid to develop on their time, and they have to want it. You wanting it for them is not going to do it. So, you know, what do I know? I'm just I'm just saying.
No, I think
Kori and I have these conversations because we see it. Some of y'all slide in our DMs. We see the workout posts, and we're just looking at these kids and we're like, you poor baby. Like, you don't even look like you're enjoying this.
and I would like to say that some of these crazy workouts that these kids be doing are administered by people who don't know what the heck they're doing.
What the heck they're doing?
And that's what, like, I feel like I've been so blessed because every time I needed a coach to take me to the next level, God was like, here is the perfect coach for you. Like, I've had the perfect coach for me every step of the way. College, high school, I've always had the right coach for me, and they always had my best interest at heart. And some of these, and they never overtrained me, overworked me, but they helped me like just capitalize on my gifts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really important that like you have, like, if you're a parent, you're going to some of these practices and making sure like everything's on the up and up and your kids in a safe environment, because it takes literally nothing to become a certified USA track and field coach. You go to one little seminar on the weekend and you are a level 1 coach. You do safe sport, but I want kids to be kids. I want them to enjoy life. I want them to. I'm telling you, this is how you make kids be successful. Because I'm like I really want to, and that's what I think I'm gonna start asking people when we do the interviews, like when they start running track, because I'm going to tell you it's gonna or when you started being serious about track. Yeah. And I had a private coach in high school, and I was training very hard. But one, it was because I wanted to, and two, because my high school coaches, they didn't have the resources to coach me. I was coaching the other hurdlers. I don't think that every high school athlete needs a private coach. I just think you should do research and make sure whoever's coaching your kids is qualified.
Yep.
When did you fall a little bit? Aisha's funny. You know where that's from?
Chewy, I'm gonna put the link to call in the chat because we just hit 47 minutes.
Hey.
Aisha, can you if I put it in the chat, can you pin the comment? How do I do this? Wait a minute. I thought I was going to.
I also like to say another thing, especially when it comes to female athletes, is you can be running fast at 12, 13, 14. Let puberty hit and your body changes. Like, I'm trying to tell you right now, I had friends who I hurdled with. By the time we got to college, they were getting recruited for a shot put because their body changed and it was a completely different body type. And I will tell you, as a coach, I've been around a lot of college coaches, and they would rather recruit athletes who are a little bit slower, who have raw talent, than an athlete who's running significantly faster. But you already do weights, you already do plyos, you train like a pro. So how am you squeeze every single
What am I improving? What is the upside?
Yep. Collegiate program. How are you supposed to get better if you're already doing these things? Like,
Yep.
I'm just telling you how your kids scholarships,
but okay. Kori, it's yes. I didn't change the code. Okay. Aisha, I'm gonna send you the link if you could put it in the chat, please. If I find it.
The other thing is number 1 in high school, fastest high school in the world, doesn't mean you should go pro. It still means nothing on a professional level. And that's what people be getting twisted. It's like, I was number 1 in the 300 hurdles and the 100 hurdles in high school. Did not mean I was ready to line up with Joanna Hayes. So what I'm saying is, sometimes you see like, oh, these amazing high school athletes, and oh wait, why aren't they doing well on a professional level? It's because it's like, number 1 high school is still mediocre at a professional level. give them time. They still need time to develop and grow. That's what college is for. I always tell freshmen, collegiate athletes, if you can run just as fast as you did your senior year of high school, that is a like you won the day, because there are so many factors going into being a college athlete that's working against you negatively, in that like you don't have your mom there telling you to go to bed, so you're not getting all your sleep. You know, alcohol's on campus, so that's a thing. No one's watching your diet. Like there's so many things pulling you away from your performance, and also just training. You're also competing against athletes who've been in the collegiate system, which I would like to say is the best development program for track athletes. It's going to take a while to like get it together. Hi, Victoria. She's just getting out from work.
Diane
Stay-
said, "Stay on topic for Paris Diamond League." We
we don't
talked about it. There wasn't really much to talk about, unfortunately. How much did you two party? She partied. Okay. I partied so much. And let me also say this, okay? I was in the honors college. I graduated with a 3.6 GPA. I majored in exercise science, but I was the ringleader for the parties, okay? I remember one night we took a bus back from whatever track meet we were at. I texted the girls. I was like, yeah, so and so's at the door. He said we can get in for free. We got in. I didn't run at this track meet because I was having my hot girl year. And so we were in the club till like it was Columbia, South Carolina. So I think the club shut down at like 2 a.m. But I had practice the next morning. And when I was in college, I trained with the boys. Yes, I did, so that I can send it. But I had a time trial the next morning with the boys, and I woke up and killed it.
Hey.
I lived that life in college. But let me tell you something. I turned pro. That mess didn't work no more. I couldn't do it no more. I couldn't do it no more. But she partied. I had a good time in college. I tell people all the time, enjoy your college life. Okay, let me figure out how to get y'all this code.
I partied, but I still don't drink because I don't need alcohol. But like, here's the thing: when I go out, I'm not here to drink. I'm not here to meet new friends. I'm not here to play games. I'm here to be on the dance floor all night long. That's all I want to do is dance. Don't ask me to do any other activities. And I also will be the designated driver. I drive. I was like team mom when we would go out because I would take everyone home. But yes, I went out. I shut it down a little bit during track season, but the fall was my time to shine. Is there anybody that looked less of a track and field athlete than Tyra Banks and higher learning? I'm looking at these comments.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. If I can figure out how to do it.
All right, figure it out.
Yeah, because I'm not staying on YouTube live with y'all all night. It's already 10:25. Sis got class in the morning.
Okay. She says she's not partying anymore. Days are behind her.
Okay. I'm putting the link in the description on Track Girl Summer live stream. Because some of y'all are watching from Natasha Hastings, but you should be watching from Track Girl Summer. So if you go to Track Girl Summer, it's currently in the description for the Track Girl Summer live stream. So it's there. And then let me see if I can drop it in the chat and then maybe pin the comment.
you, Natasha, figuring it out. I used to do the multis, and I used to compete against a girl. I won't say her name, but her brother was her teammate, her dad was the coach, and her mom made the outfits. And when I tell you, her dad was so mean. He would yell at her, and you're out there all day, and he would yell at her like she was really good at all the events except for the 800. And during the 800, he would yell like, "You're pitiful." And mind you, we're seventh, eighth grade, right? And
That's
she
just
was like,
sad.
yeah, it really, and the thing, he had the audacity to be like, come up to me and was like, I just really love how you compete, da 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 da. And I was like, you need to tell your daughter this. And she would be there because multis, you're sitting around talking to each other, and she was like, I can't wait to go to college. I can't wait to get away from him. I can't wait to like quit track and field. And like, she was insanely gifted, and he like just drove all the love and the excitement and the fun out of it for her. How do you feel about parents that rely on their kids to turn pro to help them out of poverty? Natasha, you want to take this one?
I feel like it's trash. Um, I feel like it's trash, but I also feel like there's so many things that I could say about this. I feel like it's trash.
Maybe you should put a basketball in their hand if that's the case.
Well, no, because here's the thing. I feel like it's trash to, like put that pressure on your child, to rely on your child. But I also feel like we all do the best that we can with the tools that we have, right? And so I think a lot of times that is the only way out for some of us. And I think it's unfair to put that pressure on our children. Um, but it is what it is. So, like I've had conversations, and I think a lot of it lies within what we normalize, the conversations that we have, how we educate ourselves, right? So even the conversations that I've had in my circles about like starting my son's education fund, like I think I'm a fairly responsible person, but I can also be very irresponsible. Uh-oh, we got a caller. Diane's coming in. Hold on, let me finish my thought. Diane, I'm gonna leave you in the green room for a second. Let me finish my thought. Um, and so I started an education fund for my son, and I got a lot of like, he better get a scholarship. And I'm like, okay, but why though? Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But what's wrong with me starting some generational wealth? I think that we need to change our mindset around like, and it doesn't have to be big. When I tell you like it's just a little bit of money every month that I've like dedicated, that like this goes to his bank account or his custodial account or whatever you want to call it. But the idea that like some of us truly feel like, oh no, Diane, what happened? Um, I think it's unfortunate. And I think I honor and respect that in some instances that's all the choice that we have. But I think we need to start normalizing conversations about how we can set up our children for the future.
Yeah,
Okay, here
I
she
think
is.
I come from a privileged place in that like my family was gonna be good whether I ran track or not. Um, and whether I got a scholarship or not, my dad was like, wherever you guys want to go, I will figure out a way to pay for it. Granted, my sister went to Brown, so she took the whole cost. She took all of the college money. But I think it's like children didn't ask to be here,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's
Mm-hmm.
not on them to take care of you. It's on you to take care of them. Like you decide to have kids, and that's me saying something only as a dog mom. But I also feel like children do feel obligated to give back to their parents. If you have a good relationship with their parents, they're going to want to do for their parents. But
And I feel
to
like it should be the child's choice.
but to but if you are out here coaching your kid instead of going to work so that your kid can one day become I don't know. Like, but I don't know because it's like you see like Naomi Osaka and it's like her dad invested in her
Yeah.
and like now she has life. I have three siblings. Um,
I lost Diane again. If she comes back in, I'm just gonna pull her up.
that's exactly what I was hoping you would do.
Oh, I thought you were talking. You were, Diane. You were. I just had you on the backstage. I was trying to let Kori finish her thought because I went on and on.
Yeah, I'm not a parent, but I think that's a lot of pressure for a child to be like, I've got to break all the generational curses, and I've got to pull all of my family out of poverty. And I think it's how you can't create generational wealth if you're constantly like paying for this, paying for that, because then you can't
Robbing
save,
Peter to pay Paul. Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times people think, because I always say track and field is a job, not a career.
Mm-hmm.
In that, at some point, most people earn potential goes like this.
Mm-hmm.
Ours goes like this.
Yep.
And it's a very short career, even if you're lucky to have a long career. Allison's athletic career turned 18 this year, okay? Mm-hmm. Went to college. So at some point that money's going to dry up. And you can't live.
No. Allison's bread is long. but to your point, she invested very well, and like yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, even if you run for 20 years, right, you're not going to be making track money at some point. And so I feel like I can't live my life as if I make the money that I make. I have to live my life like I don't make that type of money, because at some point I'm not. And I try to live on very little means and invest and save. But I can do that because I only have to pay my house note. I don't have to pay my mom and dad's. And so it allows me the luxury of doing better for myself. So that someday I can be like, oh, nephew, here's a car, auntie bought it. That's what I'm working for. I want to be the brand.
I learned in I can't remember which course it was last semester. But it was about like biases and privilege, more so privilege. And it talked about how, white people are afforded the opportunity, and before somebody comes and gets me together, I know that there are poor white people as well. But it talks about how in white people you see wealth spread, it's passed down. It is truly generational. Whereas in Black communities, we have to spread our wealth laterally. And, it was a book that I read actually, and it really opened my eyes. I was really surprised about it because I just knew I was going to be pissed off about it. Huh?
What's the book? I want to read it.
It's on my bookshelf. I can't remember the title right now, but it was something like I'm a white girl. It was a white author. But she basically wrote the book from the stance of like her privilege. And it really like made me even sit with some things that like I am privileged for, right? Like sitting amongst my peers and them talking about student loan debt.
Bro, I want to tell you that is the biggest financial hack of all time, was getting a scholarship, not having debt.
And you know what? That's a privilege, and it's not anything. I think we get up in arms when we talk about privilege. Privilege is only dangerous when you are ignorant to your privilege. Okay?
And when you wield it.
And you don't acknowledge it and you weaponize it against less privileged or underprivileged, underserved. But like, it made me sit back and I was like, yeah, I have friends that can't walk into the bank and get a mortgage because they have too much student loans. But we live in a culture where go to school, get your education, and everything works out. Well, you get your education and your education costs more than what you'll ever earn. So conversation just went
Yeah.
here, there, and everywhere. But point
They
being,
went everywhere except for to Paris. Let me tell you.
point being, start a 529 for your kids. Start a 529 for your niece or nephew. Everything
I,
that you put into the account is tax deferrable. Okay. Um, just think about the kids, man. Stop putting these pressures on them.
I really just want to be able to like one day give my niece and nephew matching cars and be like, and something so ridiculous to her, my sister. I live to piss off my sister with the gifts that I give. Every year I win the gifts. And people say Christmas, birthdays, it's not a competition. It is. Um, it is. Have you ever seen a child not want to open up the rest of his presents because he's opened up auntie's present and so he's good? Been there, done that.
You're
Uh,
petty. You're absolutely petty.
and you know this. I'm still beefing with him. He does think he's faster than me. I cannot wait to fly out to California.
Diane,
Specifically,
where are you? And anyone else that wants to call in because I'm about to cut this. Go ahead. But yes, you're still beefing with your nephew.
I am still beefing with my other thing, but he still gets whatever he wants. When I went home last time, we did special days. So I took my kids to like each one had their own day, and we went somewhere special. And it was all about them, and you don't take nothing but a little ice cream to make a kid feel good. But they can get 2 scoops because Auntie's got it because she's been saving. It's basically what I'm trying to say. Oh, is this a call in live?
Yes. The link is in the description on Track Girl Summer. So if you're watching the video on Track Girl Summer, copy that link and you can call in.
Yeah.
I also
Claudette says you made at least $1 million over her career. And what I would like to say to that is, can I hold a dollar?
I don't know what she's talking about. I'm trying to be the rich auntie too. That's
Well,
why that's why me and Kori are plotting on a Track Girl Summer, okay?
Kobu loves his rich auntie Natasha. You know, Kibble ain't free, y'all. That's why I be work. When y'all see me running home on the home stretch, like giving my life, it's because Kibble ain't free. I'm out here trying to make sure my dog eats.
Aye. Well, I don't think anybody wants to join the party with us, Kori. No one's calling in.
That's sad. Disrespectful, rude, and mean. I don't know what was Diane?
I don't know. She was in the backstage. I think I had her in the backstage for too long.
She said, "Don't." Mm-hmm. Well, she doesn't deserve to be in the back. She's a star. Put her in the front.
She's royalty. She is. She is the queen of New York. I can never get a connection. No video. I'm in a bonnet.
You have a bonnet.
I'm in my pajamas, okay? Okay.
I look cute, so I don't know what to tell you, Aisha.
These locks, the roots, oh my God, they're just terrible.
You made these out like 3 weeks ago.
I should have took you up on your offer when you offered to take them out, but we needed to pack. That was more pressing.
What is storm money?
Earlier in the chat, he said something about evacuating Louisiana. So please be safe, sir. Life of Bill.
But what is storm money? I don't know. But I'm trying to get some storm money too. I like storm money, sunshine money, cloudy money.
I like money. I get money.
All right. Well, are we waiting for Miss Diane, or are we just gonna call it?
Yeah, I think we're gonna call it. Nobody wants to.
The fact that you're singing tells me that it's about to be wrapped because you ain't never seen. You ain't never snapped. Snapped.
Auntie's tired. My kid has been giving me the beans.
Why is race always described as a black-white thing? Plenty of Asian, Hispanic, specific others get no attention. Well, I discuss black because that is my experience, and I don't have the knowledge to speak on anything else. And Asians, Hispanic, Pacific Islanders historically have not been the one oppressing us, so that's why, from my point of view. Like,
Historically, they haven't been our oppressors, and historically, some of them feel like they're more white than black too. So, or brown, or because I know that's the new politically correct thing to say, black and brown. But yeah.
You're blonde watcher. Listen, I don't know what's up with everyone else. I was
Yeah,
literally
be prepared. Next time we're gonna take some callers, okay?
I'm glad James really enjoyed the show because I don't know what we talked about today. No, we're not saying that they weren't. We were saying oppressed and oppressor. Okay, so we aren't saying Asian people haven't been oppressed. I'm saying they haven't been oppressing
To
us.
us.
So when we talk about race relations, I ain't got no beef. I ain't got no beef with anyone. But like Asian people haven't created problems for my people. And Hispanic people, no, me and Hispanic people get along like that. I lived in Casa Zapata my junior year or my freshman year of college, and all of my best friend from high school is Salvadorian. And let me tell you something. My life was changed when I went to the beach with her family and I had ceviche for the first time. What's going on with you with my time off? I'm still nursing an injury, so I'm just kind of taking it slow. I also, dealing with diabetes.
Why do you play so much?
Because it's like, what? Why? Who, what, where? When? How, Sway?
I just really wonder how long you've had diabetes and didn't know.
Oh, I think it's been a while. But here's the thing. I'm not taking this seriously because how can I take it seriously?
But like, I also want to address this. Well, black women, the Asian community, and hair salons. I'm just saying that's actually pretty oppressive, and I'm going to tell you why. Because they take the black dollars, but then they do things to block black entrepreneurs from getting into those spaces to buy those products to sell in our communities. So they have monopolized the beauty business. They move into black neighborhoods and sell products to black women. And if a black person tries to enter the business, they're blocked out of the business because they raise the prices so much that if a black person does buy into those companies, when they try to resell them and make a profit, they have to sell at higher prices. So what happens? Black people got to go to the Chinese store to get those products. So all right. I don't have no more wine to sip to that. There was a little swallow in there. It just wet my tongue.
Do I think the diabetes is prolonged?
That's a
I don't
good
know.
question.
Here's the thing: is people ask me questions like about diabetes. Like I just got this thing. I don't know what's going on. I'm just like learning it day by day. I'm trying to figure things out. I'm not an expert. I just have it. But maybe it does. Like it doesn't help. I know that because like diabetes affects your blood and your blood flow, and healing happens to the blood. So I'm sure it's not, helping the situation. I feel like unless there is another question,
We need to go. We're like all over the place.
like what are we doing tonight, guys? What are we actually doing? And the fact that 75-year-olds are still here is hilarious to me because we had we had a script, a schedule. Nothing was discussed.
No, we discussed some things.
Oh, I didn't even discuss Allison looked great in the 400 meters.
Oh, she did. She did.
And
then she said,
better, living her life with Kenny, just going through Rome
for the day.
Like having
mom and dad out sightseeing,
like a little mini honeymoon. Do you think athletes are clinically depressed or anxious? Yeah, I think there's correlation between depression and anxiety and injury for sure. Your mind and your body are definitely connected.
That is a study. That is definitely a study that needs to happen.
I'm sure it has. I feel like, have you heard of like the female athlete triad where it's like, it's not, I don't think it's like depression, but like if you aren't eating a lot and you're running a lot and then you lose your period and it's like a whole thing, and your health goes down. But a lot of times it's because you have eating disorders, and eating disorders, I'm like definitely connected to anxiety, depression, and that leads to injury. Kori, I know I need to here's the thing, because I know I need to be an expert on diabetes because I definitely have it and it could definitely kill me. And I need to stop playing games. But it's also at the same time, I'm just I'm the queen of compartmentalization. So I'm just what do I need to know for today? And then I'm slowly, because I don't want to overwhelm myself. Because what am I going to do? Deal with the issue head on? Like an adult, guys? That's not me. What I'm going to do is take my little insulin, make a couple jokes, and call it a day. But I'll do some more research for your benefit of mine. Also, what I would like to say, Natasha, is Otto Bolden agrees with me. He was like, this sudden death in the field events is wiggity whack.
Who agrees with you?
Otto. And he said that he hopes that this little experiment will not return for next year and that we're done with it. And he said maybe fans and athletes don't rock with it. So that's what I learned from Paris Sadly, is that I was right. Natasha was wrong. This is an atrocity. The sudden death in field events.
One thing about me, I don't care about popularity. So I stand by what I said. We're conditioned to like things how they are. We don't like change.
No, it's not because it's how they are.
I have a trials, semi, and final. I don't have 6 opportunities, and you take the best out of my 6. So I'm not mad at the sudden death because my final counts over my semi performance and my trials performance. That was actually one of the things that I wanted to talk about, but we're running kind of late because I wanted to talk about, and maybe this is a video topic in itself, watching the women's 100 hurdles and seeing how when you look at the finals, how being in the right semifinal can make the difference for somebody medaling that wasn't necessarily picked to medal, but it's all a part of the game, right? That and you see it in tennis with the seeding and how many matches you have to play and who you play against up until the final. You see it in the NFL with the playoffs and who you match up against before getting to the Super Bowl. But I do think that it makes for an interesting final, and it makes for an interesting shakeup of things where you're like, oh, so-and-so definitely has to medal. But then something happens in the semi that works to someone else's advantage, and it allows them into the final, or someone that we thought should have been in the final doesn't make it into the final because they were in just a crazy semifinal. I think it all makes for the sport to be exciting. And I think we've been talking about how do we bring excitement to the field events. Not saying that the field events aren't exciting because they are
I don't think
exciting.
this is how you do it. I don't think this is how you do it. I put my glasses on because I'm right.
All right. I don't have to be
Fun,
popular. I'm just saying.
fun fact, this is also diabetes. I have blurry vision.
Jason White, I don't know if you said this because I wasn't looking at the comments. I try not to look at the comments while I'm talking because I will get thrown off. But I said what I said. Yes. Why are y'all messy? Why are y'all, listen, we are a shady bunch, but no, no.
The answer is me. Let me stop. See, Peter's on. Peter, you're correct. He said, but I think it discourages folks to go all out on the final attempt, so it's less exciting since no world records on the last jump side. So think about when we were talking. Did you ever go and watch? I'm gonna send it to you. The Mike Powell versus Carl Lewis. That was exciting field events. That's how you put on a show. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not this old sudden death.
But if you bought it, you show up in the final, and like Aisha said, that's what I'm saying.
That's the thing is,
Someone's
people
best run could be in the semis or heat, and that wouldn't count for the win.
No one runs. You run the semi like a final, but you don't run it like a final.
You run it like a final.
You run it like a final, but you don't run it like a final.
You run it like a final.
I run first 8. I run first 8, see where I am, and then I shut it down. I don't run all 10 hurdles.
Did I? I'm almost afraid to scroll up and see what the shady question was.
I need to go to bed. Like, because Ryan doesn't go all out in the 6th round in order to secure the win. Exactly.
I must have missed it.
Guys, thank you for doing
We're losing viewers. We're at 66 viewers. Shout out to the 66 of you that stayed on for this randomness.
And because you guys stayed, I'm going to give you guys some exclusive tea for our, I don't have anything. But like, what if I did? It was like, we're staying this long. Let me go.
Well, you got to do our outro.
Thank you for joining us at Track Girl Summer. I'm Kori. This is Natasha. Follow us at Kori Monster, at Natasha Hastings. Follow Track Girl Summer. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow our Instagram. Like a couple pictures. Post it on your story. Retweet us on Twitter. Call your mom. Say, hey, get on YouTube. Subscribe to Track Girl Summer. Do all of those things. We're going to be back. What day is it? Is it Monday? Has the week only started?
Y'all, thank you for joining us. This was the most random live stream that we've done.
We'll be back on Wednesday and we'll do something. We're gonna have a jolly old good time.
Good old times.
I think Wednesday will be 1 p.m. Eastern, but don't quote me on that. We'll change the time on you like it's nothing. So show up at 1 p.m. if you want to. We might as well. And if you're watching on Natasha's page, stop doing that. Watch on Track Girl Summer page. At some point, we're gonna shut Natasha's page down. So you better get used to come over and Track Girl Summer. And so come back here. Maybe same place, different place if you're on Natasha's page. And no matter what time of the year, it's always Track Girl Summer page.
Baby. Bye,
Do it like
y'all.
it's your birthday. Do it like it's your birthday. Baby. I thought you were gonna like